Good morning, YouTube. So I had to redo this because the first video I recorded, my camera failed, so that didn't work. Hopefully you guys don't mind, but I record a lot in my car and I talk a lot in my car to God. I spend a lot of time in my car because I live kind of far away from my job, so I have a lot of time to have quiet time and just to be quiet sometimes, and sometimes to sing, sometimes just to talk to God. So I find it easy to record in my car because I'm in here a lot. So a lot of my videos may be in my car, and I just have to accept that. But hopefully it doesn't take away from people following and listening to it, because I'll try to make sure I speak in a way that you can hear clearly and all that good stuff. And you know what I just thought about? I don't even know if this part is working right. That might have made a difference. So I don't even know if you guys could hear me the first couple of minutes, because I just realized that my phone was plugged up. So I unplugged it. So hopefully you can hear me now. If you couldn't at first, I'm sorry. But what I was saying is I spent a lot of time in my car, and if you did hear me, forgive me for repeating it. So I was just saying that hopefully it doesn't take away from people being able to watch my videos, because I might be in my car a lot doing my videos. But nonetheless, I wanted to talk about how we came to the decision to do IVF last year, and I'll record probably more in detail for a lot of the other portions of the call of the story. But pretty much how our journey looks is was different parts. But the first part that got to this point was last year around July. So we had gotten pregnant in June. Didn't know. Found out in July. Super excited. I mean, it was natural. Like we didn't get any, help or anything like that. Help from God. That was it. And we ended up pregnant. It was so exciting. I can't even put into words how happy and excited we were. I will tell you, like, the moment I found out, I was in the grocery store buying stuff. I was getting food, checking things out, making sure everything was in order. I was not playing, y'all. I was praying over the baby, rubbing my stomach with oil. I went hard. As soon as I found out I went hard, man. It was crazy. Got a journal. Man, it was just, I was gone. Because I was so happy. It was something that I anticipated for a while. And so, I can't even begin to say how exciting it was. But unfortunately, that pregnancy ended, and it ended July 21st, 2018, around 1 o'clock-ish. And I'll do a video talking about, how that day was and what all happened that day, because it was very detailed. And it was pretty much my right tube. The baby was growing in there, and it was considered an ectopic. Our tube had actually had burst, so I was like bleeding on the inside, and I lost the pregnancy and everything. So, but I'll give more details of kind of, like I said, what the day was like and what that experience was like for me. Left me because it did a lot. It played a big role in my life. I've never went through anything like that in my life, and I've lived that whole life. So nonetheless, moving forward to now, that was last year in July. Other thing is, a lot of people normally get pregnant within that year, like within the next year, whatever. But with us now having the one side and like the 1-2, for those that may not understand what I meant by one side, I was thinking about the whole process. I talked to a lot of people. I've done tons and tons and tons of research. It's funny because my husband he's a researcher, like he researched all the time. And so back when we first met, I was kind of like, I didn't do a lot of research. I kind of knew things, but then like, I just didn't do a lot of research. But since being married to him, I've done tons and tons of research. I feel like some of his characteristics I'm picking up for spending so much time with him. So nonetheless, like, you know, I started doing a lot of research. So I've done tons and tons of research on IVF, tons and tons of research on just, you know, people getting pregnant after losing their, you know, their baby in their tube and all of that. And a whole year has gone by, no, you know, no new pregnancies. So reached out to my doctor, you know, talked to my husband, reached out to my doctor. My doctor's like, well, you know, we can go ahead and do IVF. And it's such a blessing because most of the time people are told they have to do 3 cycles of IUI first. But based on my history, I don't have to. I can go straight to IVF, which is a blessing. And my job also, and I'll do a video about that too, my job also covers pretty much majority of this process, which is also a blessing. And I have to do a video on how I almost left because I had gotten offered another job, and God just protected me because I need to be where I am for what I need to do. So nonetheless, so yeah, so back to the story. You know, we prayed on it, did a lot of research, talked to people, and then God set it up so that there was someone who actually had gone through the process that contacted me, and I've been able to talk to her, and she has the baby. I've been able to see her baby. She goes to my church, and it's just so inspiring to know, like, to know that there is a human being that I can touch that has walked this journey, you know. And then there are also a number of people that I follow that are believers, that are young, they're married, and they have gone through the process. And so it helps me to feel like I'm not alone. It helps me to know that I'm not on this journey by myself, whether I'm starting it after other people or what, but it's just a blessing to know that. And so yes, so started the journey about, I feel like it's been 2 weeks ago, but it's only been 1 week ago, which just seems so weird because it feels so much longer than that. But anyway, I started the journey last week, and I want to say it was last week. It was around the 14th. And to start IVF, the IVF journey that I am on, I don't know if other people's journeys are different, but for our journey, we have to start with birth control. And so you have to take birth control for quite some time, and it's to calm everything down, to get everything in order, just to make sure, you know, that they can kind of, I hate to use control because, like I said in my title, like, this is faith in IVF. Like, to me, I have to have faith in God for every single part of this process, and that God will orchestrate the doctor's hands according to me, you know, according to my body and according to my husband's body. So I'm not just putting my hope and my faith and my trust in doctors' hands to make this work. My faith is ultimately in God first, and then believing God will lead my doctor to do what's necessary for me. I have had a number of things to happen through my journey to try to be a mom, and it has only been the grace of God that has kept me, that has protected me. With what happened to me last year, even, I could have died. So I am grateful, and I'm getting a little teary-eyed. I am grateful unto God because I know that He uses the doctors to help us. You know, as far as I know, some doctors in some cases, you know, you may feel like it's hindering more than helping, but in my case, you know, God has used the doctors to be a blessing to me and my life and my family. So I'm thankful for my doctor. I have a wonderful doctor. I'm very grateful for the doctor that God has given me. He's like an uncle or something to me. He's a very loving person. But nonetheless, moving on. So yeah, I have to take these birth control pills from now until like towards the end of July. And then I start my beautiful medicine, the other portions of the medicine. And that part is exciting. At first it was like I was nervous to do the process because of like the injections, just to be real. Like, I think nobody really wants to do the injections, but I am a blood donator, so I have sat in a chair and just let them pump blood out of me before, just to help, because my blood type is very rare, so I get called on a lot to donate blood. And so because of that, you know, I've sat with just needles sitting in my arm, and it doesn't bother me. Initially, I don't like when it first goes in, but I'm okay with getting needles. So I have never gotten a needle in my belly. I don't know what that's going to feel like. That's going to be a different place for me. It's going to be a different journey. But I'm not scared because I know ultimately the end result. And that's what I'm focusing on. Yes, I know they say that it doesn't work for everyone. But my faith is not in what it worked for everyone or didn't work for everyone. My faith is what's going to work for me, and I'm going to decree and declare and confess the positive things. Like I told one of my friends last night, what God told me was, you study success. You can study failure all day long, but all you're going to feel and meditate on is failure. And I'm going to be really persistent with meditating on the things that I want to see and not what others have seen or what the enemy may try to say. I'm going to focus in on success, and that's what I'm focusing on. So there shouldn't really be anything that would hinder me from success, and that's what I'm believing God for. So next Monday is my first appointment for IVF, official appointment for IVF. I have to go in to get to do a mock transfer. They're going to check my uterus and all of that to make sure it is capable and able to carry our embryos. And yeah, I'm excited about that. So I'm going to keep you guys up to date with my journey, keep you in the loop with all the different appointments and stuff that I have so far. I do the ones that I'm going to be doing the next weeks, because I got a lot of them kind of back to back. Excuse me. This is what happens when you live, because you can't edit all that out. But yeah, record it now because I want to be able to go back and look at every part of my journey from this point on, because I just know how I search YouTube looking for people like me, and I don't always find my specific situation, but that's the purpose of me recording mine, because I never know who may be like me, who may be in my shoes. So that's the purpose of me recording mine. Also, I want to say one of the things that God placed on my heart was that I'm a Joshua. Joshua in the Bible, he literally had to take over where Moses stopped. So basically, Moses didn't make it to the promised land. And again, I'm a believer, so a lot of things that I'm going to talk about is going to be about believing in God and what is happening. If you don't like that, then you may not want to be on my channel. But that's okay, because I will only be for those that I'm supposed to be for. So nonetheless, Moses, he was told about the promised land. He was able to see it at a distance, but he couldn't touch it. He couldn't go to it. And because of that, Joshua was his successor. And Joshua was the one to take the people into the promised land. One of the things in Joshua, if you go to read it, all you see all the time is be strong and very courageous. And Joshua was able to get the people into the promised land. So, of course, that is with God's help. Everything we do is with God's help. And it doesn't matter what process you may have to encounter, you may go through. Some people feel like, IVF is, you're not trusting, or it's something to be ashamed of. And I was telling one lady, I said, I can understand why people feel like, oh my God, this is, why do I have to do that? A lot of times, if you feel like that, because as a woman, you want to be able to just do what you're supposed to do, And then I found a lady who said this, and I'm going to say what she said, that really ministered to my heart. And she said, if someone needs chemo, for instance, if they have cancer, they need chemo, are you going to tell them, don't go get chemo? Just, don't get chemo. Just do what you have to do. Just don't get chemo. God gives people wisdom to create different medications, different treatments that can help people succeed. He also will tell some people, I don't want you to do chemo. I'm going to tell you what to eat and what to drink and what to do this and what to do that, so that you can have health and strength and success, and your cancer can go away. But you have to know according to what God says to you. You cannot go per someone else's story or someone else's line or someone else's journey. You have to focus in and ask the Lord, what does he have for you to do? I've prayed, my husband and I've prayed, we've sought God, I've even had moments where I'm just driving and I'm like, God, if you don't want me to do it, you can tell me. I will be obedient to say no. I will stop in the middle of my tracks. I'm just open to do exactly what God has for me to do. And I've had encounters where I've asked and I've prayed, and God has shown me signs simultaneously. I mean, instantly, I've gotten signs that I'm with you, I'm for you, and I'm pushing you along this one. And I'm rooting for you, specifically is what it said. But, you know, it's just, you have to know according to what God has for your life, you know. And I know for us, the blessing with IVF is it goes beyond the tubes and it goes straight into the uterus. And after having the encounter that we've had, you don't want to see a repeat of that. Like nothing in you would want to repeat that journey. So, you know, we have peace on it. We're moving forward with it. And it's okay, you know, because that's our journey. I can't push my journey on someone else. I can't tell someone else to do what we're doing. You have to do it according to what God places on your heart. And so, needless to say, directly after, you know, continuing to hear Joshua, every time I would ask God, what do I read? Joshua was all that kept coming to me. And so I've had 3 encounters where the same phrase has come up 3 different times. I've taken pictures of it where I've seen stay strong. I've seen it on t-shirts. I've seen it on books. I've seen it on TV shows. And it's just been, it's been handwritten. It hasn't even been people saying it. It's been written. And it blesses me because in Joshua it says, be strong and very courageous. Yes, it doesn't say stay, but it does say be strong and very courageous. So it just kind of ties back in to what God has had me studying and what God has placed on my heart. And so even on this morning, my husband sent me Joshua 1:8, which talks about meditating on the word of God and keeping the book of the law and meditating on it day and night. And that blesses me because then you can do what's in the word is pretty much what it says. And so that's what I'm going to be doing, meditating on God's word day and night, meditating on how God is going to bring life in his own miraculous way. And I'm expecting and I'm excited, and I'm going to, you know, I'm going to record this journey and just share it with other people. Some of my videos may be long. If you don't want to watch them all, you don't have to. If you want to stop in midway, you can. But I'm just going to allow myself to vent and release and enjoy this process and share it with others, because I just believe God is with me. You know, I believe he's with us, and I'm excited. And I'm going to record my video on next Monday about my appointment. I might do a video between now and then, I'm not sure, but my next appointment is next Monday, so I probably will journal about that next Monday. So you guys have a blessed one. For any of those other people out there like me that are on your IVF journey, my heart is with you. I'm excited for you also, and yeah, we're gonna do this thing together. And like I said, for me, it's faith and IVF, not just IVF. So I'm gonna figure out an acronym for that IVF, a way that it will minister to me. I'm gonna figure it out, and on my next video I'll tell y'all. All right, you guys, that's all I'm gonna say right now. I don't think I have nothing else other than I just want to relax the rest of my ride. So I'm still not at work yet. I still have quite some time to go. So all right, bye.